Hello and welcome back. Today we've got another £200 of 10p's we're going to be hunting through, looking for alphabet 10p's, ideally some 2019 dated ones, because we've still never completed this book. So far we have found A, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L and M, N, O, P, R, T, U, V, W and X. So 5 left, as it has been for a while, but because the 2019s are so low minted and hard to find, we've got my third, in fact, 2018 book, which we're getting quite close to completing. I mean, these are still tricky to find, but all we need are the letters D, J and R. So we've got 3 left for this book, so let's get into these bags, see if we can find any of those missing coins. Okay then, whilst the coin hunt is ongoing, I'm going to be responding to some recent comments left on my videos. If you get a random love and like from me, I've probably taken a screenshot of it to use in a future Q&A video. To get one into me, just leave one on a recent video. Just best not to ask the same questions I've been asked a bajillion times. Before we get into that though, just need to check the dates. I'm going to the Raw Mint Experience October the 26th. I think it's like it's next weekend, isn't it? 2 PM I've got my tour there to get the Monopoly Strike Your Own. If you want to come along and say hi then. I'm going back in November the 22nd and the 23rd, staying down for the weekend. 1 PM tours both days. That's when I'm going to be there if you want to come along and say hi and get a Strike Your Own. Okay, first comment comes from Irfan Udinrafi. I hope I pronounced that right. I apologise. Says my only guess is the hazy effect from PVC effect for that slave abolition coin. So that was £2 coin hunt number 27 of the current book, and yeah, there was just something a bit odd about it. It looked like, yeah, I wasn't 100% on it, whether maybe it was a BU coin that has got into circulation and just had been a bit worn in certain parts, but yeah, you might be right with the PVC now I think about it. So I think that might be why it felt and looked a bit weird. Okay, Prime M says, hi Christopher, I have a 2-headed identical size £2 coin, no dates. Can you assess its validity? Looks good, but your expertise would be valuable. So I would be 99% certain that is not a genuine error. I think the chances of them putting 2 heads or 2 tails dies into a striking machine and then not realizing are very slim. What it might be is that someone has cut 2 coins in half and stuck them together, so check around the rim and see if there is a sort of a gap where you can see that they've been stuck together, or sometimes to try and make it a little bit harder, they drill out one side of a coin and then drill around another coin and stick them together. So look at the around the raised rim on either side, the heads and the tails side, to see whether there is a gap that you can see that it's been put into, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't have thought it will be real, or they might have been manufactured like that as a magician's coin. I don't know, your heads or tails, and you're always gonna be able to call it right. So that might be another reason. But I would find it hard to believe that that's come from the Royal Mint as an error. But it could be. But I think very slim chance. Anyway, Dan Han says, you are well ahead on your quarter-ounce Britannia, even though it means more to you than gold is now £3,000 an ounce, so £750 for a quarter-ounce spot. Yeah, so I was quite chuffed with that. Again, from my top 10 coins across my entire collection. But like you said, that quarter-ounce Britannia, it's more than it's sort of gold to me. It's a very cool coin that I got to strike on a VIP tour. I've got lots of the Cooper Nickel Strike Your Owns. I've been going for many years now to get them, but that I have the gold on, I'm quite chuffed with. And again, it felt although it's more expensive, it felt, and well, quite a lot more expensive, it felt like a better deal striking the quarter-ounce gold than the 1-ounce silver for, I think it was £100. Was 125, I can't remember, but even though it was far more expensive, that seemed like a better deal because gold tends to climb a bit faster than silver. Not that silver's has been falling quite well recently, but yeah, I wouldn't be in profit on that yet. So yeah, I think I chose wisely in terms of an investment point of view. But also it's just quite exciting to have struck my own gold coin, because you get to handle the blank, you put it in the machine, press the button, so it's more than just you get on the Cooper Nickel Strike Your Own. So yeah, of course, not going to sell it. It's a lovely coin, and again, reminds me of a fantastic day. Tom Locke says, hi Christopher, do you collect any pre-decimal coins? If so, which do you have? So I collect a bit of everything. My advice is always, well, do as I say, not as I do. Specialising is probably a much better idea. Having a sort of a niche field of interest is going to A, cost you a lot less, B, take up a lot less space, and C, it's just more manageable, isn't it? So yeah, I do have some pre-decimal coins. It's not something I actively go out seeking. But yeah, I think they're quite cool. And again, when you have a coin from, I don't know, with Queen Victoria on it, the idea that that coin over 100 years ago was being spent on this or that or the other, and the hands it might have passed through, they are quite cool. So yeah, I appreciate the history of them. And again, as someone who has only recently experienced having multiple monarchs on our coins in circulation, it's quite cool the idea that before the 1970s, when we decimalised, that in the 50s you could find coins with Queen Victoria on them in circulation. I think that's quite neat. Okay, Wajikarp says, my favourite coin that I have is my Stephen Hawking 50p silver proof. My parents got it for me for my 18th birthday, and Stephen Hawking was one of my idols growing up. Well, I can totally agree. I think it's a lovely design as well. It's a coin that, so when they were coming out, that's when I just started buying my BU and my silver proofs, which if I hadn't done, I would not have spent so much money on my coins. But yeah, that was one of the first ones. It sold out before I managed to buy mine, which did used to happen, people. And again, it wasn't like I left it a few weeks. It was on day one of release. It sold out, which is very different from what it's like now, when a year later there's still silver proofs and most things in stock on the Roomits website. But yeah, so I had to buy it from the secondary market. So on the day of release, I had to pay, I don't know, £40 premium to buy that coin. So a little bit annoying, but there we go. I had to have it for my collection. Paul Hoskins says, do you ever buy coins at auction? Sometimes, not often. I think in some of my this is what I've been buying videos, I've shown a couple of things that I have bought at auction. The problem with buying at auction is that everything looks like a great deal, and then you have a buyer's premium, which could be anything from 20 to 35% on top of the hammer price. You buy something for £100, it might cost you up to £135, and then that's not even considering shipping, and auction houses are not logistics companies, so it can be quite expensive to get things shipped, and you can end up paying double what the hammer price is just to buy and get that item. So yeah, doesn't always work out. And again, there's lots of avenues for buying coins, and again, I like buying new Royal Mint stuff, and it's not often that there's stuff like that I'm buying from auctions. But again, it's just the temptation as well. It's especially the time period I'm worst at is the first thing in the morning. That's when I make my stupid impulse purchases. So yeah, I daren't look at it before 11 o'clock in the morning after a couple of cups of coffee, and I have a rational sense of mind. I think, do we really need this? Gordon McKenna says, the best collecting is that which has, oh my goodness, okay. The best collecting is that which has a personal value. I am collecting coins with dates representing the birth and death of my ancestors. I am a family historian. I totally agree. That's what I quite like in my world coin hunts, or some of the coins that I've been buying videos. Subscribers letting me know in the comments what was their favourite coin in the world coin hunt, and why, and what have they been buying, and why they've been buying things. Because again, sometimes there are interesting personal connections, like with the world coin. Someone who had, I don't know, spent a few years living out in this foreign country and remembers that coin being a coin in circulation, maybe getting in the pocket money and going to the shops and buying some stuff abroad in that country. So yeah, I like those kind of stories, those personal connections to the coins. Stephen Harrison says, 8 million, sorry, you want to elaborate? 25 minutes watching and then you hit us with what exactly? Okay, so that was my £1 coin hunt. I did £5,000, a £5,000 coin hunt with £1 coins in an attempt to get the new 2022 Queen Elizabeth pound coin that's just gone into circulation, and the new 2025 B pound coin that's, again, just gone into circulation. Unfortunately, I found one and not the other. You have to go back and watch the video, but I'm doing it again to try and get the one I didn't get. But the way that video worked was that I hunted through £1,000 each week for 5 weeks, stitched those videos together into one big video. So yes, what I knew on the first bag, or first two bags, was very different from the last 2 bags when we'd found out it wasn't 170,000. Well, it was 170,000 had gone into circulation, which was part of the excitement over it and the desire to find one. But by the final week or two, we found out that there was an additional 8 million that went into circulation. So my knowledge grew as the time went because more information became available. So that's why it was towards the end of the video, because I didn't know that before when I started doing the coin hunts. I don't have a crystal ball, so yeah, I hope that clears that up for you. Oh, there we go. We're coming towards the end of the hunt. J for Jubilee 2018. Well, there we go. At least we found something. One more comment then. Ian Ritchie says, we're all in trouble if we're having to rely on your memory serves, Christopher. Laughing faces. Not being horrible, just having a joke. I can take a joke. But you're right. The only coin that we are aware of in 2024 was the early squirrel. After that, the Chancellor of the Exchequer ordered immediate suspension of any coins circulating as of that date. Well, that's news to me, but yeah, well, what is not news to me is that my memory is appalling. I'm terrible at remembering things. I am very envious of other coin tubers who can remember all the NIFCs that they have found and when they found them, and then, I don't know, I forget about some error coin that I have found in the past, and I'm saying, well, I've never found anything like, I don't know, a rotation error on a commemorative, not thinking about 50p's and all those Benjamin Bunnies that I found were rotation errors, and yeah, don't trust my memory. It's appalling. That's why that's why I've got notes with my Royal Mint trip dates to hand, and when the vintage figures come out, I have notes around me to remind myself, because I tend to forget. But I think I was right then. The 2024 2Ps. Hopefully soon we'll find out vintage figures. We normally do towards the end of the year, and we'll find out if I was right, whether we were on that Royal Mint tour, whether we were seeing 2024 red squirrels being packaged up, having been struck that year. Anyway, that being said, let's go back to the coins and see what I found. Well then, just the one find for today's video, but what a find. J for Jubilee 2018. It is a new coin for the book. Let me just double check. Yep. I did check the 2018 book. So we still need the letter D. We don't need the letter J anymore. Just R. DR. That would be lovely. So for the first time in a while, we get to put a new coin in the book and finish up another panel. So D and R, is there a doctor in the house? Maybe they can assist. I am very happy with that. Although we only found one coin in £200 worth of 10p's, that is an amazing find, and I'm very, very happy with that. If, like me, you've also been fortunate enough to find an alphabet 10p, then let us all know what letter you found down in those comments. In the description of this video, you'll also find links to my coin collecting Discord server if you'd like to come and join me and other coin collectors over on that. There's also links to my other social media channels, the PO box address if you'd like to write into me, and of course a link to the Britannia Coin Company's YouTube channel, the company I work for as my day job, so please check them out too. All it leaves me to do now though is thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for more coins. Bye.